pardon the deals if they get benefits, and especially if they see that they can continue to get them in the future. They will rarely do it as payment for past favors, and if they do, it will be because they will think to make a profit. It shows immediate benefits and great future profits. Many people will help you and it will depend on you. Make yourself indispensable. Does not make a sacred image that paints and adorns it, but the one who adores it. Yes. You should prefer those who need you to the grateful. Hope in future benefits has a good memory, but vulgar thanks. Even today you can see samples of these past times in the language. For example, the personal pronoun, I, in Thai, for men, is, pam, which literally means, hair of the head. And that is the form in which a plebeian is shown before the monarchy, with the head down. Prostration is the order of the day, even if abolished by Chulalongkorn, is considered to be voluntary. In addition, pham is the formal I, but there is a more formal mode still used only in documents or in the Thai monarchist language, which is a whole language, very distant from the Thai people. A perfect example of these great hierarchical differences, this form is ka, fa, yao, a compound word that literally translates as slave of the king. Spain, Thailand connection. There are things that in Spain is hardly talked about. And one of them is the early death of a brother of King Juan Carlos, almost unknown to the common people, disappeared 55 years ago. While both, at that time adolescents, played with a pistol apparently unloaded. The tragedy marked forever the life of the present monarch, and his family, and was enveloped for decades in a halo of mystery and suspicion. What really happened that unfortunate March 29, 1956? A secret that the king will take to his grave. Juan Carlos was 18 years old, while his brother, Alfonso, was 15. Son of Juan de Bourbon, Count of Barcelona, and of Donna Maria de Bourbon, was born in Rome in 1941. It was Saturday in Estoril, the Portuguese town where the Counts of Barcelona and their children lived. Waiting for supper, the two brothers were alone in the mansion's playroom to do some shots against a brightly colored circular target with a .22 caliber pistol they had given them. Suddenly Alfonsito was shot. The weapon was in the hands of his brother Juan Carlos. The only bullet it contained entered neatly through one of the holes in Alfonsito's nose. Donna Maria, who was in an adjoining room with several friends, heard the shot. That day my life stopped, I would say later. She was ruined, because she thought she was responsible for letting her children play with a gun, to keep them from getting bored in that rainy evening. Those who ran to meet the infants came across a picture of desolation. On the floor of the playroom lay Alfonsito, whom the father tried to revive him, without success. He covered it with a Spanish flag that he took off from his mast, after forcing Juan Carlos to swear to his knees that it had been an accident. The news was silenced by the regime of the then Spanish dictator, Francisco Franco, who kept the Bourbons away from Spain, and also by the Portuguese press, also subject to the dictatorship of General Salazar. The nobles of Spain, monarchists of the heart, fell silent around the mystery. It was so hard to acknowledge the truth, to accept that it had been an accident, that everyone was busy covering the episode with a pious, thick blanket of silence. The Count of Barcelona stayed only in Estoril, crying his misfortune in not receiving neither the condolences of Franco. Final chapter, Thailand, after the king deads. After the death of King Bhumibol in 2016, his son Mahavajiralongkorn was designated the King of Thailand today. The curious about this character, he creates problems with his military junta, which is taking a different course to the one of his deceased father. As ridiculous as it may seem, this king, in the past named his dog by the name of Fufu, Marshal of the Air Forces. This personage is also known that does not live in Thailand, but, rather, lives in Germany, where he was recorded in a commercial center in that country with clothes that he is free to use and is in all his right to dress as he wishes. But the problem comes when you try to show this video to the Thais, and the video was censored geographically in Thailand, where the military junta asked Facebook to delete the video immediately, or if not, block the social network in Thailand. What we must keep in mind is that this Thai monarchy has a fortune of the king Bhumibol, which amounts to $35 billion. Yes, you hear it. $35 billion. Well, this was the richest king of the planet Earth, even richer than Queen Elizabeth. Can you tell me how a person with $30 billion governs a third world country full of poor people mostly living in rural areas blessing the king? It's absurd. Go to a hair salon in Thailand and you will see a photo above a mirror where the king is cutting his hair. Go to a music store and see a picture of the king playing a musical instrument. Go to a school in Thailand and you will see in each room a picture of the king and the queen. Is incredible the fanaticism and the propaganda applied every day to the Thais, in this case with photographs. The truth is a very complex issue of Thai politics, but it is only possible to emphasize that Thailand has already had many blows of state, cutting their freedoms even more and more. It is clear that the king at this time is no more than alone the justification of the military for the society. I will set an example. The military have the son of the king as king and support it, since it serves them for their functions, which the military will obey more obviously seek to have even more control before society. Demonstrated this with the law of lèse-majesty. With this law of lèse-majesty receives maximum 15 years of jail in Thailand for each occasion that you defamed to the monarchy according to them. The problem is, in this case, it is not defined that it is to defame the monarchy, that is to say, it is very vague the interpretation before the law on which it is defamation, and the military approve this to put to jail to all that have a thought critical. In conclusion, is a game of factions on power. Power over a country that is shortening their freedoms even more and more. Be careful when talking to a Thai on these issues, as these Thai citizens were mostly indoctrinated with the propaganda of the king since they were children, and they themselves are aware of exposing themselves to jail if they say something bad of the king. For that reason, if you speak about issues of the king of Thailand, try to talk about these issues with people with a different nationality than the Thai, or in your case with some Thai outside of Thailand which you see that you have a critical thought about your country. Be careful, I repeat it once again. This is an issue that can put you in jail with a misunderstood word and a call to the police. You can open your file in criminal proceedings in Thailand. Everything I showed you in this mini documentary about the truth of Thailand is the truth. Confirm it for yourself. I have quoted many books. This is not a video of hatred toward anyone or anything. What I try to explain is the century in we are, and it is absurd to continue having to have these laws so restrictive on the planet, in a country so rich in culture, and so beautiful in fauna and flora. But if you plan to travel to Thailand, enjoy and have a lot of fun, remember that freedom of expression in Thailand does not exist.